WellSeeker Pro now has the integrated functionality to remotely send and monitor downlinks on a specified rig. The way that it does that is, in this diagram we've got a WellSeeker computer on the rig location hooked up to the rig network, and basically we've got a dialog called downlink control, and from that dialog you can send downlink commands via the rig network to DrillLink. And DrillLink is the piece of software that actually communicates with the rig control system. So we send our communication to DrillLink, and DrillLink then makes the either mud pumps or top drive actuate in a manner that sends the downlink. This is from a situation where the Innova laptop is at the rig site. If you're in a remote location where WellSeeker could literally be anywhere in the world, via the internet, you can still use that downlink control dialog, send the communication via a server to the Innova remote client, which is software that must be installed on a device at the rig site, and then that communicates via the rig network to DrillLink and carries out the downlinks in a similar fashion. The downlink control dialog can be accessed and utilised within WellSeeker Pro and is a licensed feature, so you must have this add-on to your license to utilise it. In order to use the downlink control dialog, first of all you must have an actual well with a survey, and under that actual well you must have a BHA input as well. If you open up your survey, then your slide sheet, the downlink control can either be accessed from Tools, Send Downlink, or this icon in the toolbar, Send Downlink. This will open up the downlink control dialog. Within the downlink control dialog, you can set up, as discussed, a connection with DrillLink via a local connection or a remote connection. The inputs for these differ accordingly. For a local connection, you are physically at the rig site and you're plugged in to the rig network. In order to utilize a local connection, you must know the IP address of either the device that DrillLink is installed upon or whatever gateway device allows you to communicate with DrillLink. So whichever of those two. The port will always be 8080. In the case of a remote connection, you need a username and password, which are provided by Innova, and this is a password and username that allow you to give you access to the Innova Cloud Portal server. Once you've input those username and passwords, you'd hit the Get Rigs list, and that will allow you to select your rig from the listing. So those are two methods of connecting to DrillLink, local and remote. The bottom section and the rest of the dialog are identical between those two scenarios. So I've input a username and password here, hit the Get Rigs list, and it updates this table here. This only updates for the remote connection. In a local connection, you're obviously connected to only one rig because you're physically plugged in at the rig site. Next, we go ahead and select the channels. You'd verify with the rig which channel refers to which device, i.e. mud pump 1, mud pump 2, mud pump 3, mud pump 4, and the top drive. In any one that is the top drive, you'd also have to hit RPM channel. Select active for all channels that you may use. Okay, so effectively once you've got the connection set up and you've selected your channels, you could go along and look at the downlink that you actually want to send. Right now our connection status is disconnected, disabled. In order to connect to the rig, you'd either hit connect or select the rig in question that you're after. So in this case, I select rig 1. The rig is currently offline, so this won't work anyway. The connection with the Innova remote client has been established and downlink connection is enabled, but the rig currently is offline. So if we do send downlinks, they won't be able to occur. You need all three of these to register as connected, enabled, and yes before you can send a downlink. So in terms of setting up the downlink, you choose the particular rotary steerable tool that you'll be using. You choose the software version installed on that tool, the tool mode, and the physical downlink that you want to send. Then you go ahead and preview that downlink sequence, and it will give you the timings for that downlink sequence in terms of pumps up, pumps down, and also it will give you a depiction of that sequence. With certain tool types, software versions, and modes, you will also be able to check this box, which is rotary downlink, i.e. it will send the downlink via the top drive instead of the mud pumps. This section here allows you to adjust the percentage change from either pump or RPM in order to send the downlink. So if I change this from 20 to 30, resend preview, and we now have a much bigger flow rate decrease. I'm now going to simulate sending a downlink. Once you've got your preview set up, and should you have a connection established, you would then hit send. Are you sure you wish to send the downlink? Yes. Okay, you can see here we're getting our average flow and average RPM values. These are being pulled in via WITS or WITS-ML. And as such, as we progress through the downlink, we're getting our flow rate pulled in from WITS onto our trace. I'm now going to go ahead and speed up the video. Once the downlink is completed, you can then go ahead, select another downlink, preview, and resend. If you completed all of your downlink sequence, you can then disconnect and close the downlink control dialog. That concludes the downlink control video.